Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's time to see if the power really is with Mattel.
If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Club.
And if you like my content, please consider subscribing.
Over the past year, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legions, Valiverse, AWOC, Zesray Studios, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy with how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. All right, here we have the packaging, and man, I got to tell you, I'm kind of digging this package here from Mattel. One of the reasons that I wanted to pick this figure up is not necessarily just because I am a Masters of the Universe, fan. You guys know that my channel has always included Masters of the Universe. Even my intro video features Masters of the Universe. And I'm super excited for the movie, but more so, I'm excited about what Mattel is going to be doing with the DC license in the future. And so because of that, I wanted to take a look at this figure in particular to see if this is going to be indicative of what's going to be given to us in the DC Universe figures that's coming late 26, early 27. So the first thing we're going to do here is take a look at the packaging for this Masters of the Universe figure. And the figure has got a pretty nice window here. You can see pretty much everything that comes with the guy: swords, his two hands, and the figure itself. The overall packaging is really nice. It takes up about the same space as a Marvel Legends, your Masterverse figure. You can clearly see the figure inside, all the stuff that he comes with, and everything. It's looking pretty good, and I dig the way he's sort of displayed in here. Taking a look at the overall packaging itself here on the side, you can see that there's a nice photograph of He-Man right here on the side of the package. Most powerful man in the universe. Nice little call out right there. We have two open windows that lets more light in, so you can see more light in the package. I think that's pretty cool. We have the logo right there. I don't know about this right here, deluxe articulation. Yeah, I'm looking at those butterfly joints right there, and I'm thinking might not be so deluxe. We got the He-Man logo, some beautiful art wrapping around of He-Man and Skeletor, sort of like in this photorealistic, illustrative kind of way. We have the logo right there, and then here on the back we get this beautiful couple of like poses here. But the really cool thing is that it's kind of nice. It has a little write up here at the very top. It's Masters of the Universe, the champion of Castle Grayskull returns to Eternia to free his people from the evil clutches of Skeletor. We've got some cross sale. Now, I did see all three of these in my Target this morning, the Man-at-Arms and the Triclops. I didn't see Skeletor, Evelyn, or Tila. So if those are out, I didn't see them. They had two He-Man and then one of each of the other figures. I don't know what the breakdown is in a case. I have no idea. But those are pretty neat. Nice little spot varnish across the figure portraits at the top, which looks really neat. We have the logo here at the very top. So yeah, the Chronicles line. Let's get this guy opened up and check him out and see exactly what all the hype is all about. All right, now that we have the package opened up, I did want to show you what the inside of the package looks like. Now, we know that for retail, these packages kind of have to fit a certain size. We do see a nice little layout of the overall layout of the figure with the sword's hands, but you do have this extra piece right here. It's just filling up space. It is cardboard, but the nice thing is that it does have a little illustration of what comes in the package. So you do see He-Man, the sword, and his two hands. So it's not completely wasted. They did put a little bit of art there, but man, it's kind of wasted space. It's really, it has to fit a certain size, and we know that, but yeah, it is what it is. Starting off with the accessories, let's zoom in here. We do get two hands. Now we see that they have the holes in them, so that means that the plug is going to be on the wrist, and we're going to see how that's connected in just a minute. Next, he comes with his Sword of Power. Now, the cool thing is that this is typically that type of kind of silvery gray plastic that typically would have swirls in it, but I don't see swirls in this gray plastic. We do see nice painted brown straps, no wash, no dry brushing, no extra paint apps. It's just sort of cast in this gray, but the fact that I don't see swirlies in it is really good. Yeah, I don't see any swirlies at all. I think this is pretty nice. It's nice and shiny and shimmery, and it does come off as metal when you display it on your shelf. Next up, we have He-Man himself here, and first impressions with him in hand is he feels really good. The closest thing that I can approximate to how this guy feels in hand is if you've ever handled a Jada Toys Street Fighter figure, and if this day and age in the retail space, if you're making a quote-unquote highly articulated action figure, you're going to want to be copying Jada because they're doing it right. Now, there's a lot to love here. This figure is limited. It does have some limitations, but I'm here to tell you, I'm loving right out of the gate what I'm seeing. Now, first off, it does appear that my camera is picking up a slight coloration difference between the legs and the chest and the arms. I'm telling you that is showing up on camera at least double or triple the amount that it shows up in hand. In hand, it is barely noticeable, but there is a slight color difference. Again, not as much as in hand as it is showing up on my camera. Maybe it's the lights, maybe it's the camera itself. I'm not sure. This is my new camera, my new setup, so I'm not sure, but there is a slight difference in the color of the plastic. I love his chest gear. The head is nice. I think the face looks enough like the actor. Let's zoom in here. And man, the hair is very beautifully sculpted. It looks great. The leather work, got some little schmutz right there on his shoulder. I don't know if that'll ever come off, or maybe I'll try to get it off later. It's not really bothering me. Is there a wash? Yeah, there's a very subtle brown wash or maybe a spray to the hair to bring out some of the recesses. I love this chest armor. It looks appropriately metal and leather, and you can see that the He-Man cross symbol on the chest is an extra piece. Zooming in there on the eyes, I do want to, yeah, that does appear to be the figure face printing technology. Yeah, the chest armor is great. The lower loincloth is incredible. If you can kind of see, like, there's a lot of wash and dry brushing and weathering, and it just looks, the stitching is really nice. And if you can see, it looks like the digital printing for the gold buckles is kind of off. Some of them are misaligned, like this one right here in the front and the one to the right of it. These kind of look off a little bit, but yeah, it's not the biggest detail in the world. It's not something I'm going to, with my naked eye, I can't even see this. It's only when you zoom really far in do you pick it up. The nice rivets on the belt and the chest armor rivets line up beautifully. They look great. The metal looks significantly metal-like, even though it's a gray paint. The chest piece is an extra piece that was added on to give you that glow. Here's his sword sheath. It's a weird shape, but really effective. When you put the sword on the back of the figure, it can store it right there. I know that this is sort of like film accurate because we've kind of seen what this looks like in the movie trailer. He's got two little plugs, so you can remove that. Although I don't feel like the harness here is affecting any of the points of articulation. So really and truly, there's no need to remove it. Let's pop the head off and see what we've got going on. We've got a double ball peg system down in the where the neck pops into the chest cavity, and then a double ball peg on the top of the neck, so you're getting a completely full range of motion there, the shunting forward and back. He can only look up about that far because of the hair, and then, can't really look much further up than that. The arms get a little bit more than a T-pose, which is really good. I do like the butterfly joint. It doesn't really go far forward. again, look at Jada, look what they're doing. It doesn't really go far forward, but it goes back much further. I would have liked it even if they'd have cut into that chest muscle a little bit further so he could reach further across for a double-handed pose. I think that would have been good. He does have a double bend right here. You did see he has got bicep swivel. The double bend is really nice. The joints are super smooth, and there's just enough cutout right here to allow the gauntlet to bend under the bicep muscle, but because of that gauntlet, it is going to get in the way. Now, the gauntlet is a separate piece. This is just a cuff. If you were to pop the hand off, you could slide the gauntlet off. And as much paint as they put on the leather work on the loincloth and chest piece, they also applied that to the gauntlets. You get some silver and gold paint there. You get a nice upper torso bend right here. It could go further, but what we get is what we get. The only part that we have here that I don't particularly care for is this joint right here at the waist. I just need either the belt needs to come up a little higher or the stomach needs a little more, the abs need a little more plastic there to keep that from gapping too much. But you engage both of them together and you can bend forward that much, you can bend back that much. You just got to mind that gap at his waist. But I do like all of that torso articulation working together. If you wondered if he had the furry loincloth underneath the leather, he does not. He does have a really nice drop down, though. That is a really good drop down leg. But unfortunately, there is no thigh cut. So only a little bit of rotation where the ball sits in the thigh cuff. Or the hip cuff, that's all you're going to get there. I would have liked to have seen that. A thigh cut, I think would have been nice. Now, when the leg does go all the way out because of the V shape of the crotch, he is going to kick out at an angle. That's about as far forward as you can get him to kick with it before it starts going out. You can go all the way out to the side and go back about that far. The knees are brilliant. I love the double jointed knees. I don't feel like that boot is getting in the way at all. Do we have a boot? Yep, we got a boot cuff swivel, which is really nice. And that is not a cuff like the gauntlets are. That is the lower leg. The leather work, the paint looks really good. You can see that that's the full leg because you can see where the foot pegs into it. The leather is just as beautifully painted as the gauntlets and the loincloth and the chest harness. He's got a hinge, a swivel rotation, and then a forward-facing pin for rocking down there at the bottom. So you're getting all that modern foot articulation that we've come to expect from a 6-inch figure. Now, popping the hand off, you can see that there's the post. Looks like a pretty substantial one. Don't feel like it's going to break. And it does have a hinge. So you've got this ball peg hinge rotation peg system going on. Very easy to pop and swap the hands. I am very happy that he come with 2 fists because this He-Man's going to be punching. You gotta punch bad guys when you're He-Man. I would have liked to seen him come with some gesturing hands. I think that would have been really nice. And I don't know if I have any extra laying around that may fit this. Man, yeah. Let's de-amazing this thing while we're doing a review. Let's get a pose going. Yeah, I mean, he poses up really nice. Like, I'm not mad about this at all. Like, I'm actually very happy that I picked this figure up. He's quite nice. The joints move buttery smooth. I'm telling you guys, I really would. I think this figure would do great to have like an upper thigh swivel. I think that hopefully that's something that they add in, that maybe we can talk enough about it on social media and on videos that Mattel gets the message that we're going to want some sort of like thigh swivel when it comes to the DC line they're doing for us later in the year, which they're probably in production on right now. But yeah, look at this. I mean, just as he's posing up right, like he's getting the poses that we need. Let's swap this hand and get the old sword hand in here, because while we're talking about posing, no He-Man figure is worth his salt if he can't hold the magical sword aloft and scream out by the power of Grayskull. Can he do it? Yeah, he can do it. He certainly can. Yeah, this guy's looking really nice. And yeah, look at that. He can get the sword right above his head. He can't really look up at it, but hey, that's okay. We can get in this pose, and that's going to be enough for me. If a Spider-Man can't bend his knees and He-Man can't hold his sword, then something's wrong. Now, for some size comparisons here, we've got the Masters of the Universe Origins He-Man and the Jada Toys Street Fighter Ryu. Next up, we have the Super 7 Classics Lion-O, and we have the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Moshi Zero. Now we have the McFarlane Toys 89 Batman, along with the Marvel Legends brown suit Wolverine with an extra head on him. Next up, we have the Frazetta Girls Conan and the Heroic Signatures Conan as well for some other barbarian action. Next up, we have the Mezco Conan and the Savage Crucible Brynjard Vale. Then we have the Operation Monster Force Halloween Boy and a Action Force Custom Bullseye. And here we have the Meta Travelers Legendary Crimson Warrior and the Boss Fight Studios Vampiro. Next up, we have a Mythic Legions and a Cosmic Legions to show you how he stacks up with them. And lastly, we have the Skeletron Dire Wolf and the D13 Demon.
All right, I gotta say, I am very impressed with this figure. If there is any comparison that I can make, to me, it feels like the same quality or pretty close to the same quality as what Jada is pumping out. And Jada, for me, is making collecting fun and enjoyable, and the hunt, bringing back the hunt to retail and the affordable price point. And I feel like that's what's happening here a little bit. Now let's talk about price point. This guy was $27.99 at Target, bringing my grand total with tax to $29 and a penny. And so for $29, do I feel like I got my value? Not really. There's a little bit more I would have liked. Maybe some gesturing hands, like just, one set of gesturing hands, maybe a shield. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even use a shield in the movie. I'm not sure. Other than some gesturing hands, I'm not really upset at the offering. This kind of feels like a $24 figure for me, $25 figure. But that's also kind of an indicator of probably the price point that their DC figure line is going to be when it comes out in the fall or early next year. But I am enjoying it enough after saying that I wouldn't pick it up at all. I'm enjoying it enough that I will pick up Skeletor. And so like I'm going to commit to getting Skeletor whenever it comes out. And man, yeah, this guy looks great. He moves buttery smooth. So all the hype about how the joints move, it's spot on. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, do you intend to pick this guy up? And what you think about this figure if you already have. Please let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to check out our podcast and our Instagram. Our podcast is called Across the Toyverse. Comes out every 2 weeks wherever you download podcasts. And be sure to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.